Do you ever wonder if the ghosts you remember from your childhood ever existed? Was the house you grew up in the harborer of spirits past? Tonight we are staying up late to talk about first-hand encounters with the ghosts that have been haunting us since childhood. This is Who Are You? After Hours with Ghosts. This is Who Are You? Curious Stories of Family Lore. I'm Waitsy.
I'm Sam Ivy.
I'm Lou.
Welcome to After Hours. I've put a hoodie on. We're here to talk ghosts. We're here to talk spookies. We're here to be creeps. Not those kind of, like the good kind. The creepy creeps.
Yeah.
The spooky, creepy creeps.
We're just talking about something interesting while we partake in the acts of things.
Do you guys know
The Muffin Man?
that
Sorry.
Pam Bondi's a bitch?
So speaking of bitches and ghosts, I feel like one of my favorite memories, or like when I think back to my childhood, I think back to like the ghost stories or like the experiences where I felt like I was seeing a ghost or family members had. Or,
yeah, like you've always been socially aware. Like you've always been like felt like that other energy there.
Yeah. And like also, I feel like ghost stories have always kind of been the thing that when I would get together with like kids that my parents, their friends' kids, we would go and like hang out, and we would tell ghost stories.
Yeah.
And they would try to scare us because I was like younger.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start with the earliest ghost story I can think of.
Okay. Is it a self-encounter or is it like tossed down? Like
It's a
down?
first-hand. I didn't experience it. My dad and my brother did.
Okay.
So on MacArthur Parkway, the house that we grew up in, my brother and I, before we moved in, an old lady lived there with her son. Well, her son was taking care of her, and she died in the house. Like, she died downstairs in the room that would become our playroom.
Yeah.
And the bed the bed that she slept in and died in, mind you, less than, 5 years before. Well, less than a year before, but by the time my brother slept in the bed, like, my brother got her bed.
Yeah.
Long story short. So when he was sleeping in her bed, like, just the bed frame.
No, I know, but so either way, like, energy is stored.
Yeah. So my brother's probably like 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And one morning we get up and we're having breakfast and my brother's looking disheveled. And I remember him being like, I had a really weird dream last night. And my dad was like, me too. And then they described the dream as essentially this old woman in a blue nightgown standing at the foot of their bed.
Yeah, they both had the same dream.
They both had the same dream on the same night.
That's not a dream, man.
Yeah. That's it. Just that creepy. And to go along with that, like, I never saw like a ghost like that, but I would be home in that house, and my mom had like this old stool that she would sit on for sewing, and when it slid across their wooden floor in their bedroom, which was right above the living room, you would hear it scrape.
Yeah.
Like, you could hear it from downstairs, so you'd know when my mom was sewing. When we would get home from school and no one was home because our parents were still at work, I'd hear that shit sliding around upstairs.
Nah, dude.
I thought you saw the blue lady. I saw the blue lady at MacArthur Parkway.
You did?
I saw her, and then I started to tell you, and you, like, filled in finished my sentence pretty much.
Well, fill me in, because my memory is not the greatest sometimes.
Okay, so you go up the stairs, right?
Yeah.
Go up the stairs, and I think you turn right.
Yep.
For all you audio-only people, I have my eyes closed.
Yeah, he's trying to envision it right now.
Your room is at the end of the hall. right?
Yes, sorry, that was a delayed response.
So your room is at the end of the hall, and your parents' room is to the right.
Correct.
Okay. There's a rocking chair in your parents' room.
At some point.
Yeah, we were little. I walked by it, and I had remembered Jimmer saying something about he called her the blue lady, I think. Said something like that. And I didn't see her at first. I walked by and I saw the rocking chair or the footstool
Creepy.
or whatever the fuck going like this. And then, like, I don't know, half an hour later, I walked by the door again alone upstairs. And I saw, when you walk into their room, there's, on the far wall, there's a window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's two. There was two.
She was standing at one of the windows.
That's creepy as
And I
fuck.
don't think she turned and looked at me or anything, but I saw she had like a veil on. Not over her face, but like a, fuck, I don't know what they're called.
Like Virgin Mary around her head type like thing?
It's a hair thing. It's a hair accessory.
Veil, like for a wedding?
What? No, like,
Bandana.
a bonnet is not the word either. Yeah, or like a big bow in the back of her head, but made of like a translucent something, like that a veil would be.
Interesting.
That was blue.
Wow.
But yeah, no, that house was haunted as fuck. Yeah, for sure. And it never felt like, it was never scary though.
Mm-hmm.
It was never like, I never felt
Threatened.
like, yeah, like anything wanted to hurt anybody.
You're just aware that she was there.
She was just hanging out. Because I've definitely been other places where, like, you feel it.
Feel the
air,
tension,
like, your
yeah.
chest is heavy, and you're like, oh, fuck.
I always was scared at the McConnellsville house, the blue house that you grew up in. These are all in New York, by the way. We're from New York. Sam's from Maryland. She's actually visiting out of town, which we didn't even like say.
It's okay.
We didn't even like say.
They don't even know everything.
We might get a chance to like do like a quick couple clips tomorrow.
Sam, if
something,
you want
but-
to, just for the Patreon people, what's your social security number?
8675-309.
867-53009.
I did used to call that shit. Yeah, the McConnellsville house, I think, was haunted by the late owner.
But it was darker there, like more like a darker spirit.
When you like, this big blue house was on like in the middle of the country, like cornfields, and what I remember is the road. It's like a curve,
Yeah,
like right around a curve. The house is right there. It had a big, like, garage. Like, you pull into the driveway, huge yard.
yeah.
Off to the side, big blue house, driveway. You'd pull around, like, to the side of the house, and you go up the back porch stairs, which were super steep, and it was, like, this big enclosed porch.
Mm-hmm.
You go into the house, and it's, like, this long, big room kind of thing that leads to other rooms. I don't even know what you would call it.
Hallway.
No, it wasn't a hallway. It was
Sorry.
bigger. It was like a room and a hallway combined.
Yeah.
And it just like something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
It
And like the
reminded
living
me
room,
of
that
a
house
ramp
freaked me
in
out.
a hospital.
Mm.
You know how when you're walking through
Yeah.
a hospital, there's like a slight ramp
Mhm.
as you're going up into the next wing? That's what that room felt like.
Oh, one really quick thing I need to add. I'm sorry, I have to jump back. I forgot to add this in. In that house on MacArthur Parkway, really quick, when I would start to fall asleep, I would hear voices. Like, I would be like on the verge, I'd be about to fall asleep, and I'd hear like a, "Don't go to sleep," or "Hey Kay," or like shit like that. And one night, it was so much. Like, I was so tired, and I kept trying to fall asleep. Oh my god, I have another story too. I just remember too, like another same kind of deal, because it happened during this state. And I was like, I heard something say like, "Go downstairs," like kind of like telling me like go downstairs. So I was like, all right. So I got up out of bed and I go and I walk downstairs and I just like walk into the kitchen and I walk to the stove and I just stand in front of the stove and I like start to smell something and I'm like, I smell gas and the stove was on. And so I was like, oh, click. And I turned it off and I just went back to bed.
That's wild.
Yeah. But I would hear like voices like trying to keep me awake a lot, not necessarily like to have me go do something.
Yeah.
It was just the one time.
That it was like, hey, we don't want this house to burn down. Can you like go fix it?
But another time, like I remember waking up and there was a man standing in my room and he was big.
Yeah.
Like tall, stocky. Familiar, like I wasn't afraid. And he was like, I just came to say, I don't even remember, what did he say? Because at first I thought he was my dad.
Yeah.
Grandpa was tall. The one we just talked about in the episode.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this guy was tall.
You said you reminded you of your dad at
He reminded me of my dad. And
your dad looked like his dad.
I almost remember like he was sitting in a chair, on a stool or something. And he like had a hat in his hand.
Your grandfather died in a chair and stuff, so.
But he was just sitting in a chair next to my bed, like a chair like that, like with the iPads on. And he said something like, I just wanted to say goodbye to you before I go. Or something. And I was like, okay. He's like, I don't mean to wake you. I just, and that was really it. And I was like, it's so hard to remember. But I remember, like, asking my dad if that was him.
Yeah.
Like, shortly after. Being like, did you, like, come and say goodbye, like, before you went somewhere? Or did you go to work or something?
Yeah.
And I remember him saying no. And me just being like, oh, it must have been a dream. Because I was pretty young.
Yeah.
I was, like, around 9. And that's, like, the age Dad was when his dad died.
That's kind of wild.
Like, I was, like, around that age. I can't say for sure, but, like, 7 to 9. So, I kind of feel like he came... But where would he have gone? Like, he was saying
maybe
goodbye.
He finally, like, he lived everything, like, he saw, like, his, grandchildren get born. Or maybe, like, they say spirits sometimes eventually reach, like, their next level, or maybe he's going to reincarnate into something, and he just, had to say his last, like...
Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting concept.
Shout out Jennifer Love Hewitt, Ghost Whisperer. I love you, girl.
Well, my great-grandfather on my mom's side, my grandpa LaBuzz, he used to tell my mom when she was little that you keep coming back until you get it right.
Exactly.
So if my grandpa, like... Maybe he had to live in that soul to a certain point to see out, like, the next generation, to be like, okay, there's good seeds planted in the line, I can go.
Time to start anew.
And so he went, because I'm a good seed, he went to visit those good seeds and then left.
Yeah.
And then got reincarnated somehow.
So it was his last time to free roam and say, like, his goodbyes.
I can believe that a lot more than I can subscribe to, like, a religion.
Energy, dude. It cannot be created nor destroyed. It has to go somewhere, even if it's paused and stalled until like the next, stage.
Yeah.
But no, I have similar ghost stories too with like my family and shit. Because like growing up, being young, you get to hear all the ghost stories. And like the house that I grew up in, my grandparents and like my dad when he was a kid, all built from like the ground up. Because my great-grandfather I never got to meet, he was dying of bone cancer at the time, so my grandmother wanted to be close in Maryland to, like, be there to take care of him, stuff to that nature. So he passed away before the house was even done being built, and that took a big toll on my grandma, but she said, like, while they were still building the house, like, she also had a rocking chair that, like, she was downstairs in the basement doing something with, like, the trim around, like, the floor or something. And all of a sudden, this rocking chair just starts rocking out of nowhere. There's no wind. There's nobody else down there. It's just her. And she's freaking going to town. And she goes, hey, Daddy. And then it just stops. And, like, her dad had a rocking chair. And, like, I think that was actually his rocking chair, believe it or not. But, so that was her story with that. Fast forward, 10 years later. my aunt was dating this dude at the time, and he was a piece of trash. Like, he was a definitely horrible human being, but it was his first time spending the night at the house. My grandmother made him sleep downstairs because my aunt was young still. I'm probably like high school, early 20s, give or take. But, you know, you live at your parents' house. There's restrictions, limitations. And she didn't like the guy anyway. She made him sleep in the basement and made my aunt stay in her room upstairs and, you know, lock the door so that way there's no shenanigans that could happen, as a good mother does. This man did not last, I think, 20 minutes in the guest bedroom in the basement, where he came running up the stairs in a panic, banging on the door until my grandmother unlocked it and said, I don't know who that old guy is downstairs, but he creeped me out and I'm going home. And she's like, there's no one else in the basement but you. What are you talking about? And he's like, there's an old guy that he's walking past my door in a white t-shirt and a cane. And that my great-grandfather apparently always wore a white t-shirt. I had a cane later in his life and stuff. He's like, and just keeps banging on my door. Like, he walks by and hits it. Like,
oh my
why are you still up? Why are you still here? Like, you know, giving me like the sense to get out. Like, he's like, and I got scared, so I had to leave. And the guy ran out like white as a ghost. Like, he was done. So, like, growing up hearing all these stories, I'm like, it's not true. Like, you know, like, I mean, I believe in spirits and stuff, but I personally hadn't seen anything yet. So, you know, me being me, I was like, well, you know, fuck, I'm gonna move in the basement. I'm in high school. It's gonna be fine. And, like, once again, no malice, like, intent. Like, none of, like, there was no maliciousness.
Is this the one
like,
that I went to?
The house?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you were at my grandma's house. It was Minnie's house. Yeah.
Okay.
So, my experiences I have, like, 2 different occasions where they happened. I moved in the basement, and, you know, I'm thinking I'm the top shit. You know, I'm in the basement, I'm a cool kid. That 70s show basement style. Shout out that 70s show. But where that was set up is you walk down the, like, wooden steps. Like, you come to, like, a little platform and you open the door, and then you walk down to another platform, and then you go straight down the stairs, and you go to my bedroom that's there. And they're wood steps, so you hear every freaking creak. You hear every footstep. It does not matter where you walk on it. It's like, and it's pitch black.
I know that well.
I'm laying in my bed. I only have 2 cats in the basement with me, so they're fat, so, you know, they can make a little bit of noise. They got a little weight to them. I hear the door of the basement up top open and shut, like clear as day, click, close. And then I hear footsteps come down the stairs. You know, I live with like 5 other people, and, you know, 4 of them live upstairs, so I'm like, it has to be one of them. I'm waiting, because I can kind of see who gets off the steps. There's no one there. And I'm like sitting there and it's dark, so I'm like, well, maybe they just like made a quick turn and went down like further in the basement. You know, I'm giving myself benefit of the doubt, watching my movie, you know. And then, like, not even 5 minutes later, I hear footsteps go right back upstairs. The door open and shut again. No one turned on any lights. I didn't see any human being or body. So I rushed up. I said, it's my cats. My cats were laying in bed next to me. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's my cats. My cats the whole time. It's fine. It's fine.
That's so scary.
And then the other story I have, same house. I'm upstairs. So I'm not downstairs. I'm upstairs now in our living room. Sitting on the couch with my grandmother watching a movie, right? And the way this worked is you walked in, there was a foyer. It went straight, there was a kitchen. If you turn left, you go to the living room, dining room combo. If you kept walking straight down the hallways, you get to the bathroom and my dad's room. So I'm sitting on the couch. Commercial comes on, and we're waiting for like the movie to come back on. And I just see in the corner of my eye, not a full body, but some dude's upper half. I didn't see a head. I just saw like this part, like the shoulder and a little bit over, but that was it. And it was a white t-shirt. And, like, it just popped out of the door frame where the bathroom was and went right back in. And I, looked at my grandma. I said, did my dad just walk out? Like, and she goes, what? I was like, I just saw she goes, no one
the wind
came
just,
out.
Like, when you were talking about that, that's, like...
It was weird to me, because I've never met my grandfather. I've only seen him in pictures. Like, I never got to meet him. He passed away way before I was even born.
The wind, like, just...
But, yeah, like, it was crazy.
Wow.
It was freaking wild. But I mean, like I said, there was no like scariness to it. I just, you know, accept the energy. I accept they're there. I'm aware.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my story. Those are my 2 occasions.
Those pretty occasions. Those are like
Connellsville House, I think, was scarier to other people.
Why is that?
It was really like traditional poltergeist stuff. It wasn't.
The kitchen was so fucking scary.
If you could imagine, like,
I don't know what it was.
Like an old man.
It wasn't poltergeist? No.
An old man,
Oh.
say, looking for something. Like, he can't find it. So
Yeah.
he's, like, kind of storming
And he's
through the
super
house,
fucking
slamming doors.
mad about it.
maybe.
And you can feel how mad he is.
Damn.
I don't know.
I never felt, like, any rage or anything.
I was
Well, like-
thoroughly convinced I'm super sorry to cut you off. I'm thoroughly convinced that somebody was murdered in that kitchen. Because I remember, like, you remember that, like, vinyl wooden floor? With the speckles? There's that one spot that was, like, darker.
I always just thought it was, like, a burn or something. Or, like,
No.
Looks like a murder scene that never got cleaned up.
Someone was murdered. Pretty certain.
Is there anybody that's alive that could, like, know if that was true or not? Or could you guys, like, get the history from, like, the house records or anything and see if there's a murder that happened there?
I looked pretty hard, not very hard, but pretty hard at the property records, and I could only find the sale when my parents bought it.
Because they're not allowed to hide those type of records, are they?
No, but
It's just locating them.
yeah.
Okay.
A lot of them are housed in like townships and like little hamlets and stuff, and their databases are very local. They're not like on a website.
National,
You
like,
need,
level.
you need like access. You basically need to send in a mini FOIA request. You need to petition the county for those records.
Yeah, it's got spooky. That house creeped me out. Even like being outside it. I don't know. It could have been the grounds it was on.
Was it the woods, do you think?
I don't know.
Because it was like,
It's just so.
once I saw the movie Signs, I got creeped out.
Oh my God.
That's how our backyard
That's
was.
right.
It was like a yard and then cornfield,
Cornfields.
and then behind the cornfields just dense ass like Blair Witch Project.
That's wild.
ass forest type shit.
Yeah, it was creepy.
One time, because you were talking about how it's on a curve, it's a very aggressive turn. But it's not a stop and turn. It's just a curve. And
Yeah.
one time someone hit a phone pole. This was before everybody had a cell phone. Cell phones were like super expensive, and yeah, we didn't have one. Somebody hit a phone pole, like coming around it, hit it, and they came to the door and they were like, "Hey, can we use your phone?" And my mother's like, "No." And they're like, "You don't have a phone?" Like indignantly, like
Yeah.
"Oh, you don't have a phone?" We did.
But you hit the
Phone pole.
Pole. Yeah.
My grandma's house, my grandma Doris, my mom's mom, her house. There's a lot of stories about that house being haunted.
Mm.
My cousin Jason, when he was little, he used to, like, he's older than me, but the adults used to hear him, like, up there talking to somebody.
Yeah.
And then they would ask him later, like, who are you up there talking to? And he would say, the guy from the well. And
Okay.
that's creepy in and of itself. And my mom said that she used to see a man like up there when she was little,
Okay.
and somebody else did too. Like several people have seen this man, and so my uncle or somebody ended up doing some research, and I'll have to try to verify this.
Mm-hmm.
But they were building on that property. They were putting in a well, and the well is still there. It's in their basement.
That's crazy. Oh, that's creepy.
They were putting in the well, and a man who was working on the well fell in and drowned in that well. And it's still there. It's still open. It's the same well, and it's still what pumps through that house.
Ew.
I mean,
I know they cleaned out the water and everything after the fact, but still.
and it's been like 100 years, but because it was before they owned it, and my grandma's lived there since 1950.
That's just still wild to me.
Yeah, so
it's like the plot from The Ring.
Yeah, how sad. Like what if that is? Oh, and my grandma, like Another thing about my family, tying this back into like lineage, a lot of women have the ability to have like dreams and premonitions without even really knowing it. And I think that my grandma said that my great grandma Maudie was psychic.
Yeah.
And one of our lines, the women would read fortunes with tea leaves. So I want to learn more about that.
That's a wild trade.
But my grandma, she was, a couple weeks before my mom died, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before my mom died, my grandma was sitting in her chair in the living room at her house. And she opened her eyes because she had fallen asleep, opened her eyes and looked out toward her kitchen. So she was in her living room and you can see through the kitchen, like the doorway into the kitchen, and you can see the back door. That you open that back door, there's a couple stairs and you can either go right or left. It takes you to the back porch, which is like an enclosed back porch, or down into the basement. There's the door to the back porch locks. So that door was locked. So no one could come in and out. And the doorway where this took place, that door was shut as well and locked. So my grandma looks up and she sees a woman standing there and she's all gray. And my grandma looks at her face and she has like a hat on of some sort, like a nurse's hat or something of the sort. And she goes to look down and she goes all the way to the floor and there's no feet. And my grandma said that she went to look back up, and by the time, as she followed her eyes back up, this figure dissipated like smoke.
That's wild.
And like in the doorway, like kind of like went towards the door as if she was walking out the door. And she told me this, and again, she told me this after my mom died. And my grandma was a nurse for, oh my gosh, over 30 to 40 years. She was a nurse. And when she told me this, I immediately started to look up, like, what does the gray lady symbolize? And the gray lady, when seen by a nurse, she only appears to prior nurses, and she appears as a warning of an impending death, sudden tragedy,
doom.
Some sort of doom.
That's
and her
crazy.
Baby girl was about to die. Because my mom is the youngest of 5 and the only girl. Was the youngest of 5.
Yeah.
I think this is a good couple of story sesh. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks for being a part of it.
Any last thoughts?
Don't cook meth and don't help other people cook meth.
Yeah.
Don't eat the yellow snow.
Yeah. Don't piss in the wind. Brush your hair.
If you think you see a ghost, snap a picture.
Yeah.
And also, like,
don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Feel the vibes. Trust your gut instinct.
And never stop asking,
who are you?
Who are you? Who are you?
I'm gonna need you to stimulate that like button. I'm also gonna need you to subscribe.